Hey guys, so weighed myself this morning and I was 240.3. And for the daily glucose check, just got through eating a few hours ago. I'm 105, which is really good for having eaten recently. Today's video is all about step 2 to reversing type 2 diabetes, and that's having no carbohydrates. So, why no carbs? Your body basically breaks down all carbohydrates into sugar. So, as far as you can think about it, sugar, the more sugar you have, the worse. The more carbs you have, the worse. Carbs and sugar are equal as far as your body is concerned. And so the more carbohydrates you have, the more sugar you're intaking, your body's converting, and then that increases the need for insulin. The higher your need for insulin over time, your cells become insulin resistant. And then it's still insulin resistance leads to a huge list of issues and illnesses, type 2 diabetes and prediabetes being at the top of that list. So there are three main carbohydrates. There's simple carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, and fiber. So simple carbs are exactly like they sound. They're simple. They're short chains of sugar that your body can easily convert into glucose within about 15 minutes or so. Examples of simple carbs include just regular table or granulated sugar, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, fruit juices, cakes, cookies, pies, candy, of course, right? Like all the basics. High fructose corn syrup is particularly bad because only your liver can break down fructose. So when you consume high amounts of fructose or high fructose corn syrup, what happens is you gunk up your liver. And gunking up your liver is one of the fastest ways to lead to fatty liver disease. And that's going to get you insulin resistance even quicker. So you should be avoiding all sugar and all carbs that you can, but you should like go out of your way to avoid high fructose corn syrup. It is probably the worst form of sugar that you can put in your body. So a complex carb are long chains of carbohydrates or long chains of sugars, and they require extra processing time. You can usually break them down in about, your body can break them down in about 1 to 2 hours. Because they take longer to break down, they won't spike your blood sugar as dramatically, but it is still pumping sugar into your body, and it's still requiring higher levels of insulin than normal to bring or regulate your blood sugar levels. So there's no real advantage to eating complex carbs. Um, the only one of the three types of carbohydrates that you can consume is fiber, and you specifically want to get fiber from low glycemic, high fiber foods. So this includes your green leafy vegetables. Think cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, cabbage, things in that nature. You want to consume as close to zero carbs as possible every day, but you can consume an unlimited amount of green leafy vegetables. You don't have to limit yourself at all. They're highly nutritious, they're highly fibrous, and they're very good for you. So think about what you're eating, right? Read labels. In general, you want to eat whole foods. So you want to just eat the broccoli. You can put onions and seasonings and spices, whatever you want on it, salt, pepper, anything of that nature. But just eat the broccoli. Don't buy the pre-made packaged broccoli. You're going to want to cook the vast majority of your meals yourself. That way you can control what you put in them. And if you do eat something from a package, right, make sure you're reading the label. You want it to be as low carb as possible, as little sugar as possible. You don't want to consume any bad oils. 2 videos from now, we're going to be going over bad oils and what that means. But overall, you know that step 1 is no sugar. You know that step 2 is no carbs, and that carbs are the equivalent of sugar. That's the way you can think of it. So stay tuned for more, guys. Tomorrow I will be discussing exactly my tips and tricks on how I avoid carbohydrates. So just stay with me and together we will slay the diabetes dragon. Thanks.